Alrighty, folks, I have to admit, I am still in that moment of afterglow. We had the 4 legends of real estate investing yesterday with Casey, April, Anna, and Alicia. It was amazing, exceeded all my expectations. 60 some odd folks were on with us live asking questions, no PowerPoint, just right into it. I was glowing yesterday. It was so much fun. But Casey, you were there. You let us off. You came out first. So what'd you
I
think? How was it?
did. I thought it was great. And honestly, Michael, it was my first time. Like, I've done a zillion podcasts. I've done like lives on Instagram, but never like something like this that you put together. So I was really intrigued on how it would all work and go down and all of that. And I never participated in one either, as like I bought ticket to go. So it was really exciting. So I stayed for the whole thing. I listened for all 4 hours. I was
Wow.
there for the first one. And then I was just like, I need to hear what these other women are saying. I mean, these people are above and beyond me. And I know I'm never done learning. So,
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's so unique. It was just fascinating. I did learn a lot. It was really cool to hear from all of them.
Yeah, so we'll go to your story last, but we'll go to April first, right? This is my takeaway from April. So April Crossley, Lazy Girl REI, give her a follow. She's been on my channel a dozen times. She's in my second book, so I'm a huge April fan. But let's just remind everyone how her story starts. She's a 16-year-old teenage mom on welfare. Not a great start, I would say. She then busts her butt, puts herself through college, gets into the medical field. Medical field doesn't turn out to be what she thought it would. It's more of a business than helping people. So she gets into real estate. She starts flipping. She starts holding rentals. She has a creator that says buy in war zones, basically, because it's great cash flow on paper. She's like, that was stupid. I mean, she is so like direct. I just love everything that April
I
does.
love her.
Yeah. And then she goes on to be able to build business. She talks about seller financing and private capital and building. She does mailers. And to think about where she started, as a 16-year-old teenage mom on welfare to what now she's become, and she syndicates and investor private capital is just, I mean, you couldn't imagine a better story. And I was just, she's just so much fire. I just love it when I get to talk to April.
The one thing that I really liked about her was I felt like she was a lot like me. And I'm like, oh, how can I get this girl to be my friend? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, she seems so much like me, her personality, just how like straightforward she is, and she knows what she wants. And I really loved her charisma and just like her go getterness.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
she's a go getter. And I loved how, one thing that did like, not light bulb, but maybe think again is that she's like, I have my own money. Like, I make plenty of money. I make lots of money, but I still don't use any of it for my rental property purchases. I still go get private money because a couple of things she'd said. She said, one, because I can make other people so much money by lending, by borrowing their money. So she's helping other people out. And two, she can put her own money in syndications and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
So she is getting the tax deductions and all of those benefits of putting her money in something by putting it in syndications, but she's still utilizing private money and still cash flowing. And what's one thing that Blake always says to me is, okay, see, we don't need private money. We have our own money. We have our own money. We have our own money. We don't need to use it. And it's like, it's true. We don't need it. Like, we have our own money right now. But it's like, there are other things we could do with our money. I mean,
Yeah.
buy real estate in different ways and
Yeah.
still utilize private money to grow. So, anyways, I that was one thing that I was like, good point. Because I'm always like, well, if you have your own money, you should use it. It's
Yeah.
less risk, it's less interest you're paying. So
Yep.
I did take that away from her.
Yeah. She's great. Yeah. Lazy Girl REI for folks that don't know, April Crosley. And then we go to Alicia. Alicia's a little
Oh
fireball
my
out of
God.
Huntsville, Alabama. 18 years old, buys a flip. The flip takes 2 years. And then she nets almost 100 grand. And then
Mhm.
she stares at it and she's stressed, right? Just hearing her origin story is pretty amazing.
So with her, first of all, she is so cute. Oh my God. She's so cute. And her little Southern accent, like, it's just what I hear out here in Memphis. I'm like, oh my God, you're adorable. She's freaking adorable. her charisma too is like out of this world.
Yeah.
And I know she had mentioned she's doing like a short-term rental course and getting something together, because I was on her website and she doesn't have anything for sale, like besides her, she does like a little like one-off coaching she can offer. But I was like, this girl, like with her charisma and her knowledge, like she's young, she's still what, 33, and her knowledge is like
Yes. Whew.
off
Yeah.
the charts, off
Yeah.
the freaking charts. I don't do short-term rentals. I knew a lot what she was talking about, but she was like rattling off boom, 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 info after info after
Yeah.
info. I mean, I took notes
Yeah.
wherever they are. I got notes, and I was like, this girl knows what she's talking about. So whenever her course does come out, you guys should
Yeah.
go get it if you're into short-term rentals, for sure. Hands
Yeah.
down.
And then
Or
she
midterm.
talked, yeah, she talked about the real world, right? I mean, she talked about the day after the world shut down. She
Yeah.
lost $42,000 in a week.
Yeah. So it made me think, how
42
much money
grand
is she
in a
making?
week. Yeah, of course,
You
right? You
know?
and I go to the other way. Like, damn, that's a good
Uh-huh.
living. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. 42 grand in a week. And then she talked about how she was building. She's amazing because I've watched her. So when I was lucky enough to get in Alicia's orbit, she was still mainly a flipper.
Mm-hmm.
And then she became like the flipper in Huntsville, where like people seeked out her flips because of her style. That was why one of
Yeah.
my questions about what she's doing. Then she did the short term rentals, then midterm, then the world ends. And what she's built now, just with the, I don't know, 80 or 90% automation around it. I'm
My
like,
favorite
Alicia.
was when she said, my favorite part is probably of the whole thing was when she said, she was like, yeah, we're just trying to be really conservative now. And, I know people, what I'm going to say.
I
We're
know,
just
I
trying to be
know.
real conservative. And I know people would say against this, but, we're only buying one house a month now.
Exactly. It's like, oh my God. Yeah, only one a month now.
That's great. I mean, freaking awesome.
Baller. And it all started at 18 with their first
Baller,
flip.
shot caller. Yeah, she's
Oh my
great. Amazing.
goodness.
I'd be her friend too. We could be friends.
Yeah, it's just a great group, right? And then of course we start with the OG, and I say that with due respect because Anna's been with me for almost 5 years every week. We don't have these Monday conversations, you and I, without Anna kind of saying, hey, why don't we do this? So shout out Anna. Uh, again, starts out with Section 8 housing. She gets the big house in Texas. She's a success. She decides to sell it. House hack a fourplex, does the one rental at a time, goes through the Great Recession, all of these things. And talk, she shared her Airbnb story, right? She wanted this thing for her family, and now it's part of her business. And she did it from the hospital, right? She's doing it with a broken foot and an ankle, for heaven's sakes. Like, just
Talk about
amazing that she
commitment.
still wanted to come through.
I know. The one thing that I really liked about Anna was how she came back. She made it through a hardship. Like she had said, she did the Dave Ramsey stuff, and Dave Ramsey said, no, don't go into debt, with starting a new business. I don't know what the business was. I don't think she said, but don't go
Chiropractor.
in
Her husband's a
chiropractor.
chiropractor.
Okay. So don't go into debt starting a new business. Well, they did. And it was several hundred thousand from what it appeared.
700 grand. She shared it. 700. Can you
700.
imagine? Yeah, going from no debt to negative 700 or whatever that
That
is.
would
Oh,
kill anybody. People jump
yes,
off
that's
buildings
not
for
good.
that.
That's not good.
No, people jump off buildings for debt like that. They
Oh
really
my
do.
gosh. Yeah.
And
Wow.
oh my God, not only did they persevere, they're killing it. And their lifestyle is completely forever 180 changed.
Yeah.
And it's all from mindset and saying, I can.
Just keep going. Wake up. Keep chopping wood. It's all you could do. Just keep chopping wood. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And folks know Anna, she has her own playlist. Now let's come back to you, starting us off with the little bundle of energy that you were. It was 7 a.m. I'm so glad you started off because you got me going early. You just come with all this great energy. People really loved the interaction with you.
Did they? Okay, good.
You saw the comments. I mean, they were great.
Like,
and again, let's be very clear. You resonated your story, right? Because you shared in the video you got to 8.
mm-hmm.
That's a lot. I think starting with you was a happy accident because again, you were scheduled last originally. Anna had to change because of the hospital. I think starting with you was a karma. It worked out well because most relatable, right? And again, you shared something in your story that I don't think, at least I had not heard before or not remembered was you and your husband are operating in Southern California. You two have a family discussion. It's like, hey, I want to stay home with my babies. Then you make the choice to move to a city where you know no one. I mean, how much of all of these stories are sacrifice and perseverance and doing the work and not giving up and stop complaining and stop whining and bitching? You just did the work. Then you start a craft business to build up your down payment for you. I mean, it was just such a great story.
What I like most about my story, no, just kidding.
No, please. What did you, I mean, when you were done with your story, what did you, I mean, what were kind of the takeaways from it? What did you think resonated the most?
Well, of course, all I could think of was what I could have done better, because it was my first time ever doing this. I'm like, oh, I could have done more of this, like the other girls did. And so next time, if there's a next time, I could do better. I'm always wanting to be better.
I didn't think there was anything you could do better. So again, folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, we did a 4-hour ladies legends of real estate investing. It was recorded. I will get it chopped up and put it on Teachable. No PowerPoint. That's a big thing. This is now the third time, and I'm now convinced it's the best way to do it. 100% or at least 95% audience driven. I do come in for the first 5 minutes just to get everybody kind of teed up in the right area, but audience driven. I don't know where the questions are coming from. They're all over the map. You stayed for 4 hours. What did you think of that format?
I really liked it. I know with, these plug and play, PowerPoints, people will reuse them over and over, right? Because they take so much work to do. When I spoke at the investor meeting in Nashville, I spent weeks working on a PowerPoint, and I've used it before again, because it takes so much effort. But I really liked it because the people that are paying to come to that get their actual questions answered. Yeah. And sometimes they may come and not even know what they're going to ask, but things spark, that's right, I want to know about this, or this relates to me. How did she overcome that? Those sorts of things. So I thought it was really great. I thought the questions that people came up with were amazing. And some people got some coaching in there with their own questions too. Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. It was great to see what people are thinking and what questions they come up with.
Yeah. So I already have another one scheduled. It'll be next Sunday. So a week from yesterday. It is 3 top real estate agents. So a lot of investors have problems with real estate agents. How do they work with? How do we qualify? All of that. So I have Beth Traverso coming on, top 1% agent in the country. Jason Pritchard, the best investor in my market of Fresno. And then Ty, TYLG, was coming on. He's been doing this 30 plus years, so he can tell us about creative financing when it was originally created in the late 80s and 90s. So it's going to be a lot of fun. $47, 3 hours. If you do buy it, you'll get the video. It'll be next Sunday, the 23rd. Casey, how can people follow you?
They can find me on Instagram, Brick by Brick Wealth, YouTube, Brick by Brick Wealth, and my website, Brick by Brick Wealth.
By Brick Wealth. Folks, do me a favor. Leave some comments below. What questions would you like Casey and I to rap about? We will do that next week. Casey, thank you so much.